What is intuition?
Yes, what is it? I mean, Eric Byrne, of course, was very strong on intuition, and also believed, and I believe that too, that intuition can be trained. It's not necessarily something you're born with or not born with, that you can train it. But I do think that some people, again, a little bit like with the representational systems in the brain, some people are more intuitive than others. And so what is it? Well, how would I define it? I would say it's a kind of a knowing without necessarily a brain knowing. It's just a deeper sense of, I know that. And not even with those words, but yes, again, I'm thinking India. It's not that I don't have intuition when I'm not in India, but I just remember when I went to India the first time. Forgive me if you have heard this story before, but I'll tell you the story again. So this is January 1993. There were very bad riots in Bombay, as it was called then. All the airlines inside of India were on strike, no airlines, and I was flying from New Zealand to Singapore, and in Singapore I thought maybe it's too dangerous, I shouldn't go, I've never been to India. And people said, oh well, you will get sick, and people will rob jewelry of you, and terrible stories. And I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't go. And then I decided I would go anyway. And I arrived in Madras, as it was called then, Chennai, in the middle of the night. And the airport was so different in 1993. There were throngs of people, very dark people were at the airport, and I came off the plane and I smelled the air. And I just knew I had been here before. And I just thought, nothing bad will happen to me in India. I just knew it. Like, how could I know that? That was a moment of intuition. It was in the middle of the night. I had booked myself into Trident. I was taken to the hotel. And the next day, I went back to the airport. And there was a little airline called Vayudut. And they were flying to Cochin. And they had a seat for me. And I flew to Cochin, and I was picked up at the airport, which of course was near the casino hotel. Saru picked me up and drove me to the hotel, like from the beginning. Then the next day there was Elephant Festival up in Thrissur, and I went there, and the elephants rode up to the top of this mountain, and two people were sitting on an elephant, but the Italian man who was on my elephant got scared and held up his card, and so they lifted him off the elephant. And so I had my elephant with my mouth all to myself, and we walked up this way. And everybody applauded along the way, because here was this woman alone on the elephant. Nobody else had an elephant to themselves. And then I arrived at the top. I mean, it was such an incredibly happy journey. That was the second day that was the second day in India. And from there on, I was always in the right place at the right time when festivals happened, not because I knew it. This was India for me. Riding up to that top of that mountain. That was a fantastic start.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to hear about this intuition, because I was getting inspiration, like maybe I may never be able to find an intellectual answer to this about intuition, because it's already, I knew something which is which is not part of my thinking process, but it's something.
Yes.
And
I think
knowing it and not being able to say what it is, and I think
yes. I think it's a knowing, I don't mean necessarily a positive. I think that it's also sensing danger when you need to sense danger, backing off from something when you need to back off. It's not necessarily that I think intuition is all about wonderful stuff. It's just about an kind of an innate knowing without using your consciousness about that. It's just a knowing.
and able to see something which the conscious is not able to see. I think that is also
Yes, 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 yes. I think that's yes, excellent. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes, yes.
So thanks, Charlotte, for this question. Sorry, for this answer, for this question.